And we are live. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gem of the Crypto, episode 488. Today is Monday, October 14th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay. We are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
10-ish. And today's top stories. Litecoin turns 8 today. Happy birthday, Litecoin. Telegram responds to investors on SEC action. Hearing set for October 24th. Kick announces it's here to stay in the apparent reversal of fortunes. Ripple, Coinbase invests in Mexico's biggest crypto exchange, Bitso. Unreal Engine 4 games get crypto transactions with Nano plugin. And UK real estate firm accepts Bitcoin for sale of a 150-year-old church. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at those prices for today.
Oh, yeah. So the prices for today, not much movement. Again, people sideways movement. Bitcoin today is at $8,351, down 1%. Ethereum up 2% today at $188. Ripple at 29 cents is seeing some good movement, up 4% today. Bcash at $229 is up 1% as well. Litecoin at $57, not much movement, down 1%. And last but not least, EOS, $3.17, up 2% today. So not much movement, mixture of green and red, nothing to worry about.
There we go. What's going on? Shannon Allen, Will, MB Walter X, Jamal J, Jizzy Matt, Clarence Dennison. Hello. Oh, good morning. All right, top article of the day. Litecoin turns 8 and Charlie Lee said Foundation is not near bankruptcy. If you were thinking that. Yeah, there we go.
Shout out to Charlie Lee.
8 strong years.
8 years old.
8 strong years.
Made the third grade.
What is going on with the Litecoin Foundation right now?
Oh, yeah. So the Litecoin network has been running the last 8 years. And some people have said that the Litecoin Foundation is near bankruptcy because of the price drop. However, he actually stated the Litecoin Foundation is not near bankruptcy. Don't listen to stupid FUD and lies, which you've seen a lot. We have enough money to last 2 years, and that's at the price Litecoin is now. Who knows what the price will be in 2 years? So if they already have that, in cash, liquid, so they should be pretty good. One of the biggest things was the allegation from Trust Nodes report that claimed the foundation was down from $1 million in income in 2018 to negative 70,000. So they were actually stating that they were in a negative. However, Charlie Lee on their birthday had to make sure the FUD was cleared. So shout out to him. And shout out to the Litecoin Foundation. They're one of the most active communities there are.
And that just goes to show you talking about startups. They're like, hey, we got plenty of money. We'll be here for at least two more years.
We are an institution that will last at least 24 months.
Right. I mean, that's crazy when you see it, but that goes to show that these developers are working, project to project, checking all boxes and trying to get these things finished. But that's not a long time span, but that's also the good thing about that is one of the things we say about the advancements of this new technology and projects that advance. It usually happens every 2 to 3 years. So if they have an additional 2 years left, that means they have at least one last trick up their sleeve to give them an additional 2 to 4 years after that. So that's what I'm thinking. Hopefully it's the case as well.
And that's how most startups are. 2 to 3 new plans. They should have some new stuff rolling out. We'll see.
All right. What's going on? Madam Crypto, Panji Smoke, Allison Thompson. Shannon Allen said 2 years is 8 in crypto time. That's true as well.
Oh, yeah.
Telegram is back in the news as they respond to investors on SEC action, as well as hearings set for October 24th. The SEC also, as of late, known as Special Investigator. They have been leading the corruption task force on extorting everyone who's making any money in crypto. They're back at it.
Came to collect.
But it looks like Telegram open network developers responded to its investors after American regulators abruptly announced that its $1.7 billion token sale was illegal. Of course your $1.7 billion token sale is illegal. You didn't give any money to the SEC. We don't care what country you're from or where you're at. If you're doing something that involves American citizens and our government has not received a cut of that dirty money, it will be deemed illegal, whether it actually is or not. It looks like the TON has already sent a letter to investors obtained by Cointelegraph as well. And they also kind of readily pointed out that, hey, we've been asking the SEC now for 18 months on guidance, and they have decided not to give it to us. One of the methods we said that criminal organizations like the SEC use is basically to stall out and bleed out new businesses by not allowing them to have their licenses or regulations, wherever else they want to apply it for, and then to turn around and say they're illegal, and then to turn around and to take their money or send people to prison or kill them if they don't want to go to prison.
Oh man,
what
you didn't
more,
pay for protection,
right? What more is going on with this corrupt case?
Oh
here?
yeah, so the SEC was pretty slick in issuing this fine and halt of their actual issuance because it came right before the October 31st launch that's supposed to come. There's actually a small clause in the investment agreement that says if the network could not be launched by October 31st, token contracts will be deemed null and void, and investors will be paid a termination sum denominated in U.S. dollars unless otherwise agreed by involved parties. So basically that means if they can't get this off the ground by October 31st, which it looks like they can't, they will have to pay back all of their investors, which would completely collapse the Ton network and the Telegram investments. So SEC did this at a weird time because they know if they can't get it off by October 31st, there's going to be an issue. So they basically quoted here, we were surprised and disappointed that the SEC chose to file the lawsuit under these circumstances, and we disagree with the SEC's legal position. So you want to get this temporary restraining order lifted, you're going to have to work with the SEC. Right. And that's what happens when gangsters come around and ask you for money.
This is as gangster as it gets.
Hey,
this is as gangster
as it gets, man.
I love it. Gangsters don't have different color flags on people or bandanas or sagging pants. They work at the SEC and IRS. It's actually pretty funny. We're gang. And again, the timing of this, let's not even call it interesting. Let's call it what it is. The SEC, as you see here, they did not respond back they didn't respond any feedback back for 18 months. But the month of your launch, they give you guidance, which basically says, pay us, stop and we seize it. In addition to that, it's not all bad for Ton and Telegram. The worst part, you talk about them giving them back their investor money. Luckily for them, I think they might have had all of maybe 20 investors to give you that 1.7 billion number. So essentially, they'd be giving back a small group of people their money back. But in general, I think the bigger problem is that this is what stifling innovation looks like. When the government keeps saying, we're not trying to stifle innovation, we're just trying to protect investors and stuff. Well, there's 18 investors in this case, and you're not trying to protect them. You're stifling innovation. With $1.7 billion being pumped into the crypto market through the Ton network, of course, it would be centralized like many other networks, but it was new technology. It was a new way of doing things. You have money to pay more developers to actually enhance this product. There's just so many different places you can go, and now we can't even see, or we possibly might not be able to see where this road goes, all because of a government agency, again, that is supposed to just be giving guidance, except they're giving stuff that's being solidified as law that no one's voting on, which is even crazier again. So
they're just showing up with the rule book.
They're just showing up saying, if you don't listen to us, we got a whole team of police that will come kick some doors and steal some computers, and we'll get these passwords one way or another.
Hey, man.
It's crazy to see this, but again, this is the SEC in cryptocurrency right now.
Oh yeah, well you can't shut down Bitcoin though. There's no owner, there's no investors, but this does suck because these were accredited investors, so it's not like these are dumb people who don't know what to do with
20 people
who
could pull up $1.7 billion.
Exactly,
This is ridiculous.
And it's a small group, so that leads me more to believe that this was a informed group who knew what they were investing in. If it was thousands of people and it was some ICO that was just thrown out there, I could see how they could say maybe they were protecting, but no, not in this case, not at all.
And it's funny that you actually put that or say that point about who these high-profile investors were, because in this article it also says this is going to bring up a bigger question. If Telegram's $1.7 billion ICO that they did with, again, probably 20 or so people, if they can't get that off the ground, they're saying what's going to happen to Benchmark, Sequoia, Lightspeed, some of these other groups that are out there with high-profile investors trying to do it as well. For those groups, some of them will get passed because they've been paying the SEC every year, whether you need to or not, is the same as paying your insurance money. All right, and some of these groups like Sequoia definitely has already been doing that. So we'll see what happens. I hope this thing gets pushed through. If it doesn't, this is a new level of corruption, ridiculousness. $1.7 billion won't enter the market, all because of a group of suits who know nothing about the market is telling other adults what they can do with the money they've accumulated from whatever source legally, right?
It took 18 months. Come on, man.
This is crazy. Another company that says they're not laying down is Kick. That's right. Kick is back in the news after it announced it's, quote, here to stay in apparent reversal of fortunes. That is right. Kick has said, you know what? I can't take this no more. We are fighting back. Canadian social media and messaging app Kick has revealed it's here to stay in the parent reversal of earlier plans to shut down amid legal difficulties. What's going on with Kick?
Oh, yeah. Well, if you remember before, they had a standoff with the SEC where Livingston actually stated he pledged to fight the SEC until we don't have $1 left.
That's what I'm talking. That's how you have to do it.
Oh, yeah.
You can't keep bowing down. I hope to see Telegram say, you know what? We wanted to spend $1.7 billion on the crypto project. Instead, we're going to spend $1 billion on the crypto project. Yeah. We're going to use $700 million to go to court with the SEC.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I want to see that happen because if not, every company will continue to get the same pimping treatment.
Exactly. And the thing is, they haven't done anything wrong. They've been embroiled in this costly legal battle over their ICO's designation. And the regulator sued the company for having an allegedly unregistered $100 million token offering. When in reality, they did what every other company should do and more. They actually tried to get with regulators, but once again, how long did it take? 18 months to 2 years for them to get some sort of quote-unquote direction. They went ahead, and this is what you get for being first through the door. First through the door always gets shot. All these companies are getting hit with the scheme right now of, oh, you want to raise a lot of money?
The hustle scheme.
Perfect. Yeah, just keep raising money, and as soon as you get it, we're going to take ours, and then you're going to have to start from scratch. People are going to stop laying down at a certain point and just be like, no, I'm not paying you. We did it, whatever. And if it's outside of the U.S., I can see some ICOs being outside of the U.S. where they're like, SEC doesn't have anything to say here. So, yeah, I think people are going to push back. So shout out to Kick. We'll see if they can keep kicking.
Well, even in the U.S., I know no one wants to face this, but guess what? No one in the 70s wanted to face this or years prior, no matter what generation you were. Nobody wanted to face persecution. But it's one of those things where will it take a bunch of white-collar business people getting locked up in jail for doing legal business for people in the United States finally say, why? What's going on?
What's going on?
Why is the SEC being so outright corrupt right now?
For Beanie Babies. This was supposed to be turds.
Are we going to start locking up investors and white-collar business professionals just because they don't kick in the SEC? It's crazy, but again, I'm glad to see Kick fight it. I hope to see other companies fight it. I mean, that's what some of your war chest is for. Yeah. We're not just giving you, money for these projects for developers. No, if you need to take on a government agency of a country, whether it's the United States or any other, because again, this is a slippery slope about it. Today is the SEC. Tomorrow what happens when Russia's version of the SEC or China's version of the SEC or even Venezuela's version of the SEC all say you have our citizens buying this stuff or investing in you. We want our piece. Like, the U.S. doesn't have carte blanche to say that. No country does. So it's crazy to see it, but I had to pull up this little Wolf of Wall Street clip. It reminded me of Kick this morning. And that's when, of course, Jordan Belfort was like, you know what? I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving. This was Kick this morning. They woke up, you know what? I'm not fucking leaving. That was Ken. Hey, the Kick CEO came up today. Listen.
Oh, yeah.
I can't take this no more. The show goes on. This
Grab
isn't
your cojones and move forward.
No one stopping cryptocurrency, people. All right, no one stopped in crypto. You can keep going after these companies one by one. All you want, SEC. But you're just showing your hand even more. I mean, you're showing people that you can't be trusted, which is unfortunate. Being a government agency of the United States, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you want to see some gangster stuff in TV, watch Godfather Harlem. If you want to see it in real life, watch the SEC.
That's it.
They are killing it right now.
Watch C-SPAN, huh?
They are collecting all of them.
Ripple and Coinbase is back in the news as they invest in Mexico's biggest crypto exchange, Bitso. That's right. Ripple, the firm behind the third biggest crypto XRP, has led an investment round in Bitso, one of the biggest crypto exchanges and the Spanish-speaking world. What makes Coinbase especially want to go down and invest in another exchange? I guess that's my first question of this article.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing I think people are starting to realize. Coinbase doesn't want to be an exchange. They want to be the bank. They want to be who everybody comes to for investment, or they, basically get all of the different cryptocurrencies on their platform because, as reported by The Block, this new investment round includes major investors such as Coinbase, Jump Capital, Digital Currency Group, and Pantera Capital. As you can see, none of these groups are exchanges. They're literally entering in investment rounds with groups that are purely VC investment groups for a reason, And I think Bitso as an exchange somewhere else, if they don't have to get licenses there, let's just invest in a company that's already there.
I was about to say that.
And then we'll just make money off their exchange
This
as well.
is the way to get around the SEC. Exactly. You know what? Let's just not launch any of these networks or exchanges. Let's not innovate. Let's just pay other people to do it since it's going to be a target on their back.
Yep. And then we get our cut anyway because as an investor, you're protected. And you can, basically say, hey, if anything legal happens, my money is good, right? And I think with this big Mexican exchange, I think they're going to do this in other countries where they can't get licenses or it's too much work. Just take an exchange that's already there, invest in it, and then once that exchange becomes the best, you're getting a cut of everything. So that's basically what I think is going on here. And it looks like Ripple as well, they're getting in on it. They invest in a lot of stuff, so not surprised here. But yes, Bitso is the largest Mexican crypto exchange. Been around since 2014. And they have about 750,000 users.
Nice.
So pretty big exchange down there for them to invest in.
Yeah, shout out to Coinbase and Ripple for jumping on that deal. Again, this might be the future. Is the future of cryptocurrency having to invest or make ancillary investments into mainstream business and industry just to avoid government scrutiny? Which again, if that's the case, we definitely are no longer, not that we never have been, we're definitely not in democracy. I mean,
yeah,
we're running from a bunch of dudes who never got any sunlight until the age of 22 in some oversized suits who are telling you what to do.
Or a handkerchief.
Or they're going to call their big brother the police chief and have him and his goons coming round you up. This is hilarious. The SEC. Oh, my goodness. All right, here's a great news story. Unreal Engine 4, for all my gamers out there, games get crypto transactions with Nano plugin. Players can pay for in-game items and get paid using the Nano cryptocurrency. Shout out.
Yeah. Shout out to Nano.
We've talked about this for a while. While this is a new application, this is the future of gaming. For those who pay attention to games, Ubisoft just released, I think, Breakpoint, Ghost Recon, supposed to be a popular video game, but they have microtransactions in it. Now, these microtransactions weren't of the cryptocurrency type where you use it, but it's basically going down that route. And we think that is going to be the future of all gaming, where you can go in games and hey, this is going to cost you 3 cents, this is going to cost you $2, this is going to cost you less than a penny. But the only way to do all of that and to really streamline it is, of course, to use some type of cryptocurrency. Nano says they'll jump into the fray first and make theirs available. It looks like developers from cryptocurrency Nano have built a plugin that adds cryptocurrency transactions to games built using the popular Unreal Engine 4. The new plugin lets users pay for in-game items in the Nano cryptocurrency and also get paid. It is currently in beta, but it can be used by all developers building on the UE4 platform today. Looks like in a tweet, Wesley Shillingford, that's a pretty funny name for crypto,
Shillingford,
a senior software developer at Nano, released a demo for the project that showed how gamers can top up their crypto wallets using cryptocurrencies across games. In the demo, players can also receive Nano for killing monsters. A similar approach could be applied in various ways, like killing bosses, picking up Nano like a power-up through the level, he told Decrypt. That is crazy. What else is going on with this?
Oh, yeah. And one of the best parts, like you said before, is that they're moving forward with actual products. This is, this is a cryptocurrency that basically is going into the gaming industry. We've seen a lot of promises from a lot of cryptocurrencies, but it looks like Nano Rewards is getting it in. With the ability to earn it if you kill a character in there, if you level up like you stated before, and the ability to have feeless microtransactions is one of the biggest innovations in the future. We talked about it for music, we talked about it for video games, we talked about it for videos in general. When you can have a crypto wallet that can pay less than a penny for the time that you're using it, however that's denominated, that will be the future of gaming. Then you throw in some VR and a little bit of artificial intelligence. That'll probably be the standard for video games going into the future. Because I'm pretty sure if people pay $80 for a video game and then they have to pay another $20 to get to another level, then another $20, they're going to get tired of that. They're going to say, look, send the game, the software, or download the game. You can use it, you start paying automatically, and people will probably make more money. So shout out to Nano and their ability to connect with the Unreal Engine video games.
Yeah, and you can see here on the GitHub, a lot of this stuff is very new. It looks like they just actually update everything all of 8 days ago. So you can read on some of this too. For all of our developers out there, take a peek. Let us know, is this thing really going to work? What's the problems with it? What's good about it? You can see a couple people are already watching it. 10 people have started. So I'm assuming this, a lot of this stuff is just coming out today. So we'll continue to see. But people, this is huge. I mean, Criminals, gamers, and the porn industry is usually who gets all the technology first. It always has happened like that. It happened with the internet, happened with music streaming, all that type of stuff. So this isn't going to be anything different. I think after it's adopted, maybe Nano is the one that worked, maybe it's not, whatever. But the API that works or the crypto that works with all this stuff, we're going to see it transition into other things. We didn't cover it today, but there's an article out about BMW and GM trying to, use crypto in cars now, which we talked about plenty of times. But if the games can figure it out, they're going to take the same stuff that the games use, all the technology from the gaming, and they're going to put it right back into the car. They're using very similar computers and technology and all that good stuff. So I think this would be a great testing ground for it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to see this a lot more.
Yeah, and this is going to be crazy. Like, this article mentioned that gamers don't like micropayments. To be clear about that, for anybody out there who has experience in games, kids gaming, it's not that gamers don't like micropayments. It's when the video games switched to being to costing $60 a game is when gamers finally were like, okay, we'll do it, but we don't want to pay any more.
Yeah,
so,
I think that's enough. Bro.
Right, and I think that was in 2006. So you have 13 years later, which is about right whenever you have all these companies. I mean, how cheap was Sirius Radio when it first came out, right? 13 years later, now you have games coming out saying, well, we're also going to charge you this $60 and we're going to have these micropayments inside. I think it has to be either or. Fortnite was a great example, a free game across all platforms, and then they had the micropayments. So if anything, I think that's where we'll see games where you see a game that should be $60 to $100, which will actually come out to be like a $10 game or a $5 game, and then you buy it and literally everything in there is, all right, I'm going to end up spending at least $60 in game anyway just to get going. So
True.
We'll see what happens. All right, last but not least, another great news story. UK real estate firm accepts Bitcoin for sale of 150-year-old church.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to that.
Yes.
Get some base hits in there.
There we go. What's going on here?
Oh, yeah. So, according to a listing on Rightmove, which is a major British online real estate website, they are pricing their church. This property is priced at $1.5 million or 1.2 million British pounds. But they are accepting Bitcoin, which at the time of the press is 182 Bitcoins. So if you got 182 Bitcoins laying around, there's a church in the UK with your name on it. But it is a church that was built in 1871.
I'll convert some people over there.
Yeah, exactly. We can the Church of Bitcoin. You can just turn it into whatever you want. But the residential property is formerly St. Lawrence's Church in County Durham. But the company that is accepting Bitcoin also stated there is a plaza called Austin Plaza where they will offer studios, 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. They will also be accepting Bitcoin. So this isn't just one property, this church. This company, every property that they're getting, they're starting to accept Bitcoin. So for those of you who want to know whether the real estate market is going to catch up with Bitcoin, it's happening. It's just people have to own the property in order to accept Bitcoin because you're not going to pay a bank in Bitcoin right now.
Right.
But if there is a private owner, absolutely. And as long as you agree to a rigid USD price, the number of Bitcoins will fluctuate, but it'll be about 182.
And you have to remember, people, the good thing about this is even if you charge people in Bitcoin for those business owners out there, you don't have to keep it in Bitcoin. They can transfer it to fiat before it even reaches you. So there is no volatility. So for any merchant who says, I don't know, I think about accepting Bitcoin, but the volatility. Just let them know that payment processors actually take away the volatility and it mitigates the risk. So
put it like this: there's no more excuses, people. Whatever excuse you got,
no more excuses.
It's over. It's over.
It is over. All right. Other than that, that is the show for the day. Are we doing anything for the free cryptic coin?
Oh yeah. So for the free cryptic coin, Litecoin turned 8 today. Let us know if you've ever used Litecoin. If you made some money off of it mining, if you've traded it, let us know. Tell Charlie Lee congrats, and we'll send cryptic coin to the best answer.
There we go. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure you smash that like and share, and we will see you all tomorrow. Cheers.
Cheers.